About how to control your tongue. So also this is Proverbs 8 and video 8 out of 31. Does not wisdom call? Does not understanding raise her voice? On the heights beside the way, at the crossroads she takes her stand. Beside the gates in front of the town and the entrance of the portals she cries aloud. To you, O men, I call, and my cry is to the children of man. O simple ones, learn prudence. O fools, learn sense. Hear, for I will speak noble things, and from my lips will come what is right. For my mouth will utter truth. Wickedness is an abomination to my lips. So it's basically saying, like, first of all, this is chapter 8, so we are learning already the value of wisdom, right? And we're learning the understanding of God and really what He is expecting from us, right? And then we're applying these things to our everyday life. We're reading even after watching the videos, if that's what's going to happen. I have no idea, but I'm just saying, if we're reading a chapter of Proverbs a day, then, we're learning our character defects, right? So like here in chapter 8, it's saying, here I will speak noble things, and from my lips will come what is right. So we're learning those things, and that's what's called wisdom. For my mouth will utter truth. Wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All of the words of my mouth are righteous. There is nothing twisted or crooked in them. And this is also behaviors of how we're treating one another, which is huge, because obviously that's the commandments that are written 5 through 10. They are all straight to him who understands the right to those who find knowledge. Take my instruction instead of silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than jewels, and all that you may desire cannot compare with her. Like possessions, right? So if you have everything in the world but you don't have wisdom, what do you truly have? If you're not treating people correctly, what do you truly have, right? So I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and I find knowledge and discretion. The fear of the Lord is hatred of evil, pride and ignorance, and the way of evil with perverted speech I hate. I have counsel and sound wisdom. I have insight. I have strength. By me kings reign, and rulers decree what is just. But my princes rule, and nobles all who govern justly. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently. Riches and honor are with me, enduring wealth and righteousness. These can actually be like affirmations, right? They don't even necessarily, it is teaching you other ways of thinking and to be like him. However, if we're like really struggling with something, riches and honor can really, what does it say? Riches and honor are with me, enduring wealth and righteousness. And riches and honor are with me, meaning, that you're learning to be wealthy within yourself, right? It is, and then you can enduring wealth and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, even fine gold, and my yield than choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness, in the paths of justice, granting an inheritance to those who love me by filling their treasures. The Lord possessed me at the beginning of his work, and first of his acts of old. Ages ago I was set up at the first before the beginning of the earth. When there were no depths, I was brought forth, and when there were no springs abounding with water. Before the mountains had been shaped before the hills, I was brought forth. This is faith, you guys. This is where, like, if we gain wisdom and we know the knowledge and the understanding and the true meaning of the 10 commandments and display that, it's faith. This is what he's saying. Before the mountains had been shaped before the hills, I was brought forth. Before he had made the earth with its fields, are the first of the dust of the world. When he established the heavens was there, when he drew a circle on the face of the deep, when he made firm the skies above, when he established the fountains of the deep, when he assigned to the sea its limit, so that the waters might not transgress his command, when he marked out the foundations of the earth, which is commandment number 2. Before it was even made, I am the Lord your God, and you shall have no other gods besides me. Like, you shall love me, says in Matthew. You shall love me with all of your heart and with all of your soul. Then I was beside him like a master workman, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing before him always, rejoicing in the inhabited world and delighting in the children of man. And now, O sons, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Hear instruction and be wise, and do not neglect it. Blessed is the one who listens to me, watching daily at my gates, waiting beside my doors. For whoever finds me finds life. Master faith, master life, right? And obtains favor from the Lord. But he who fails to find me injures himself. All who hate me love death. I don't think I labeled this, this video the right way. I do apologize. It has nothing to do with controlling your tongue whatsoever. So I have to apologize and say that it's not what this is about. That this is most definitely about building and finding out where not only wisdom came from, but where faith came from. And that he says at the beginning, to you, O man, I call, and my cry is to the children of man. And then he says over here, the Lord possessed me at the beginning of his work, the first of his acts of old. Ages ago, I was set up at the first before the beginning of the earth. Okay. Before the mountains had been shaped, before the hills I was brought forth, before he had made the earth with its fields, or the first of the dust. It's important to know. The first of the dust of the world, So that was even before we were born, right? When he established the heavens, I was there. It's wisdom. And here in my Bible, I don't know if you guys, I'll just show it to you really quickly. Not that it really matters, but I feel like it does because I'm all about faith, And so, just in my notes, this is when I started going just a little bit deeper into how faith came about and wisdom as well. But like faith and wisdom are two different things, but you can't have one without the other. And so, not fully, I should say. This is where faith without works would be dead, because you're not working on yourself. And to me, when you work on yourself, that's when faith is alive. Because you know that you're going to be changed, and you know that something great is going to happen, and those things, right? Like I feel like my nose is really big for some reason. I don't know why I'm feeling that way, but I kind of am. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I don't care. But yeah, so that's where faith without works is dead, for sure. Because when we're not working on ourselves and we're not becoming that person that we are to become, and we're not realizing the things that we need to do that, and we're being shown that, and it's hard when at the beginning of changing your way of thinking to be like God, and obeying the 10 Commandments minus the when you do it once, there's favor in that, you know. Later in Proverbs, it talks about backsliding. And it doesn't make you a bad person. It just kind of makes you look bad. And it doesn't kind of make you look bad. It really makes you look bad, especially when people have seen the difference in you and that they know that you are the character of God, or they know that you are very, very close to Him. And so that's kind of what throws everything off. However, it doesn't make any sin any less or greater than any sin. So, and I'm not trying to minimize or anything, but this is when I say, this is when faith without works is dead. So, I just love chapter 8, and it's not about controlling your tongue. It's about realizing what wisdom and faith is. And when it was brought about, and I don't even know if I finished. Oh yes, I finished. And for whoever finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord, but he who fails to find me injures himself. All who hate me love death. You guys, each day that you read one of these chapters, you know, it's good to get into the mindset, if you skip a chapter, that how fast that day before went. And it, you know, at the beginning, that's what I did. And like, oh my gosh, why did I skip a day? You know, why didn't, and they're short, you know, I mean, they're like, depending on how fast you read, I mean, they're no more than a 5-minute read. And if it's going to strengthen you as a person and bring you closer to your higher power, then why wouldn't you do it? And so, with that being said, chapter 8 is like Romans 8. Really, those two, Proverbs chapter 8 and Romans 8, really do go together. So with that being said, you know, seek wisdom, you know, and seek faith. You know, you already have that mustard seed of faith that's planted in you, and it's what you're going to do with it. And through Proverbs, you can be strong so that that mustard seed grows into an oak tree where you're solid, you know. It's really a wonderful feeling, you know. Everybody's human, so they all make mistakes. So with all of that being said, again, this is Proverbs chapter 8, video 8 of 31. Thank you.